can take a turn toward the dark side, like there's women who work out too much, and you go, well, that sounds like you got a nice fit wife there. But she's a little too obsessed with it, There's like a sexual version of that. Anything to the extreme. If it is a negative, it's something I would have liked to take for a test ride for about 11 years.
Whoa.
From age 5 to 16.
Well, Ed Gein's mom's made him delicious sandwiches. Look what happened to him.
I saw that. There's a series on now with that. I'm tempted to watch that.
I read many books on the case, and wow.
Can I say we may have a new leader in the shit sandwich clubhouse? I'm looking at you, Dawson, for a reason. I like to know where everyone's mom is in the sandwich department. Andrew's mom's a toasted bread mom. Going to see her in Philly coming up this weekend. But I got to chatting with our friend Izzy backstage at Kimmel's Club. Dawson's buddy, my buddy, come out, helps with the merch, so on and so forth. And he brought up the sandwich. And I know he's pretty, whitish trash, And he described the sandwich his mom made, which, now, remember, Dr. Drew, hold on. Michael Chiklis is the top of the sandwich list so far that his dad had a sandwich that he invented that was sold, named after him or something, and his mom made like fresh bread and stuff like that.
So he's number one with a bullet.
Michael Chiklis is the commish of sandwiches. And then Dr. Drew's at the bottom with the shit sandwich. I'm lower than him with no sandwich, but Izzy may have bumped Dr. Drew off in the shit sandwich department.
What's the sandwich?
I can't believe you spent that much time drinking with that man and you didn't find out what his sandwich was growing up.
Food would fuck with our buzz, so we don't need
well, talking about food's not going to soak up any alcohol. Last I checked.
It's a mental thing.
You're right. Yeah. You're right. You even talk about a sandwich, you feel the buzz wearing off.
Exactly.
So he said he got white bread, American cheese, not grilled, just American cheese, white bread, and jelly.
That's disgusting.
I said I've never even heard of that sandwich.
Child abuse calls Child Protective Services.
Like fucking shitty grape jelly on top of the cold American cheese on the white bread.
It makes perfect sense why Izzy never told me that before.
Yeah.
That is a horrible experience.
You wanted me never to talk about it on the air, but here we are.
And unusual.
Yeah, so now I got to drill down with Drew, because Drew is, he uses a little hyperbole. His shit sandwich may not have been as bad as Izzy's shit sandwich. Still can't beat my no sandwich, but Izzy's giving it a try with his shit sandwich, because that sounds horrible. And I don't know something less nutritious you could send your kid to school with. It's white bread, processed cheese, and the grape jelly back then was just corn syrup and purple dye number 7 and, horse hoof.
Sugar and trans fats. Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, and carbs. And empty carbs. When the carb is sticking to the roof of your mouth, it is empty, baby.
All the nutritional value has been bleached away in that Wonder Bread.
All right. So maybe Izzy at the top of the pyramid.
I think so.
I think so too, man.
All right, what's going on in the news?
Well, in the news, you'll be surprised to know that Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom vetoed a bipartisan bill to raise the salaries of California firefighters 9 months after the most expensive inferno in state history incinerated Los Angeles.
Well, first off, okay. Firefighters, and one of the reasons I want to be a firefighter is I learned the schedule, and they would tell me all the time. They'd go like, 3 days on, 4 days off, or something like that. And I go, what's 3 days on mean? It's like, well, you live at the firehouse. I was like, well, what do you do? Eat chili, play foosball, clean the fire truck, go out on calls. And I was like, that feels like, and then 4 days of off, you know what I mean? Firemen work, I don't know, look it up, LA County firefighter. But I would say firefighters work less than half the number of days in every month. So
sounds like 3 to 4. Yeah, that works out.
I mean, out of a 30-day month, they work 13 days or something like that. Now, I know everyone talks about danger and everything else. I like firemen. Also, firemen, I've been to a few firehouses. They're almost always in a good mood, which means they're not that stressed out. But let's see. So what's it say? So average working days per month for 30-day month is 10 days. 10. 10. Okay, I average 28 and a half working days out of a 30-day month. Now, I got an easy job, so I don't care. But you work 10 days out of a 30-day month, and then I cannot tell you, especially now that I'm old, when I see a fit 49-year-old dude now, these guys look like they could play college football. And I talk to these guys. I was at Thanksgiving a few years ago, and it's like there was like a dude, he was like 49 or something. I was like, what are you, firing? Oh, how's that going? I'm going to retire next year. I'm like, you're fit, you're trim, healthy, young. Yeah, I'm retiring. If I wait a year, I get full benefits and full pay. It's like, all right, you just retire. And by the way, you work 10 days. It's a pretty fucking good job in that department. I'll tell you.
On the other side of that, Ace, you got to admit that it'd be pretty traumatic in certain ways, pulling dead bodies out.
Yeah,
it's a really hard job. Yeah,
I couldn't be. Paramedic is a different thing for me. And now that there's homeless people fucking dying everywhere, that's a different thing. And starting fires in the hill. But it's funny. Everybody who works in Hollywood, every executive, every producer, they all used to be lawyers. No one used to be a fireman because it's a good fucking job. Lawyers stressful and shitty, and they hate everybody, and they got an ulcer, and they can't stand what they become, kind of thing. It'd be interesting to think what is I am telling you the number one job used to be a lawyer. That's why when you run into all these people like Mike August, you go, oh, Mike August, what do? Show business? You book shows, do live shows? Yeah, used to be a lawyer, though. Don't fuck with him. Everything's like used to be a lawyer. Used to be a lawyer. Lawyers, the number one, I've spent a ton of money, trained my ass off, went to a ton of school, passed the bar, and I'm not doing it anymore. So that's like the number one job. Doctor, there's a fair bit of doctor. There's a fair bit of used to be school teacher. A lot of used to teach history. Used to be a cop. There's fair amount of used to be a cop. Never hear the used to be a fireman because it's a good gig.
You just settle in and get that pension.
10 days you average.
Chilean Dalmatians? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So my whole thing is, I don't know, and they get paid okay, and I don't need them to have a raise. But what I would say is, look, for the price of the bullet train that'll never be completed, we could have had aqueducts and a system and fire hydrants that worked and alert systems.
Could have paved over Merced.
We could have had planes that dropped the chemical retardant and everything. Like, why don't we just take money from somewhere and put it into the system? That's fine. Okay.
Next up, Trump says Diddy asked for a presidential pardon after receiving a 50-month sentence, and he calls him Puff Daddy.
Do we even know why Diddy, other than kind of being an asshole or being a douche or whatever, like this Mann Act thing, like somebody from Nevada, he brought a prostitute in from Vegas to Henderson to fuck his girlfriend. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's really, there's a Mann Act. I mean, shouldn't the Mann Act, which was originally, I don't know, look at the Mann Act, but basically, I think, the dominant black heavyweight Johnson, or was it Jim?
Jack Johnson?
Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Johnson. I think the Mann Act was like partially because of him.
Yeah, he was like bringing prostitutes all over the country with them.
Right. Okay. I love that brothers haven't really slowed their roll in all these years. You know what I mean? But as soon as Southwest Airlines came into our nation's conscience,
yeah,
we should have got rid of the Mann Act. For $89, if you can fly the bitch in from Henderson, he used to drive these people. You know, he'd throw them in the rumble seat of the Duesenberg or the Stutz Bearcat and drag people around from state to state. But if I'm on the fucking phone with my lady friend who lives in Henderson for tax purposes, and I just go, hey, Melinda, you think you can fly out and fuck my girlfriend and I'll watch or whatever it is, that's a Mann Act thing there? That's not Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
The Mann Act, federal law criminalizing interstate, foreign, blah, blah, blah. Passed in 1910, the law was a response to early 19th century fears of industrialization, urbanization, immigration. Where's the Jack Johnson part of the Mann Act? The act is a response. Let's see if you can figure out Jack. Anyway, it was like put in place to bust successful black men. And so maybe
it was used as intended.
There's precedent for this, but
it's also, okay, his team is arguing later on here we go. Jack Johnson was convicted in 1913 for violating the Mann Act, also known as the White Slave Traffic Act, a federal law prohibiting the transport of women across state lines for immoral purposes. Despite the law's stated goal combating prostitution and trafficking, the prosecution of the first black heavyweight champion was widely seen as racially motivated due to public outrage over his relationships with white women.
Yeah,
Johnson fled the country before his sentence, living in exile for several years before returning to the U.S. and serving his prison term. 2018, Donald Trump issued a posthumous pardon for Johnson, acknowledging the racially motivated injustice.
Right. So P. Diddy was like, hey, remember he did for Jack Johnson? How about this brother right over here? So P. Diddy's a bad dude, but I don't think you should go to prison for just being a horrible person. If we're going to bring up
breaking some laws.
Yeah, if you're going to bring up some charges, then bring up some charges. And this just didn't.
That's what his team plans on arguing at the appeal. I read that the whole point of the sentence was they were trying to prosecute it or charge him with other crimes that didn't get found guilty on. So the judge is using his discretion.
On the other hand, 4 years, while it may suck, it's big picture. Diddy did okay.
Yeah.
And also, he's got time served, right? I mean, he's got a year worth of time served. Oh, Diddy saying white men like Trump need to be. Oh, we got Diddy. Uh-oh. Yeah, Diddy's not going to help his case here.
If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war.
It's not going to stand by. All right, well, Trump should let him rot in fucking prison in that case. All right.
By the way, so Jack Johnson got in trouble because he brought his own prostitute, one that he already had a relationship with across state lines, to his fight. So they used it. Yeah, it was definitely racially motivated in him. But he got a posthumous pardon. Guess who pardoned him?
Trump.
2018.
Yeah, well, he read that. But yeah. I wonder, fellas, I'll tell you what I like to do. Dawson, you go back and forth. You go to Vegas every once in a while. Sometimes you get a lady friend. When you're
depends on the price, but yeah.
When you're coming back from Vegas with your lady friend, you should go, I don't think we should travel in the same car. And then they go, why? And then you go, well, there's the Mann Act. And then they go, well, what's that for? Well, you can't take prostitutes across. And then they go, I'm not a prostitute. And you go, okay.
He drops her off at Buffalo Bills.
Now, listen, not technically, yes, you're not technically a prostitute, but you've, definitely been with some dudes. And I just don't want to chance it. You understand? Yeah. And I'm just going to drop you off at Whiskey Pete's.
That's it.
You can thumb into North Hollywood.
Yeah, just thumb it from Terribles.
Yeah. I'll drop you off. They have 57 pumps, no waiting. Right. Speaking of pumping, you've done a lot of that. And again, what is a professional prostitute? What's an amateur prostitute? I don't want to find out. So I'm just going to drop you off at Whiskey Pete's. You thumb it to my place in North Hollywood, and, no hard feelings. I'll see you in 7 hours.
Well, the ride home would be more peaceful.
All right, what else you got?
All right, I got that AI could wipe out 100 million U.S. jobs from nurses to truck drivers over the next decade, according to a report by Bernie Sanders. The analysis, ironically based on ChatGPT findings, found a new tech could erase jobs from a wide range of fields, including white and blue-collar jobs. 40% of registered nurses could lose their job, 47% of truck drivers, 64% of accountants, 65% of teaching assistants.
Hold on. Nurses in the 40s?
Nurses in the 40s, yeah.
Truck
47.
drivers in the 40s, too?
Yep.
And then teachers in the 60s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen. In a way, I like it because it forces a trade. It's like you got to think about a trade, man. If you got a young son or a daughter, you got to think about a trade because in all my trade experience, you know, the distance we are from putting data in a computer and have it do the accounting or the tax burden for the following quarter, whatever that it could figure out, that the self-driving cars, stuff like that go into the apartment building, demo out the kitchen, install, hang the drywall, tape and mud, put the tile down, grout the tile, install the new cabinets, install the plumbing. Like, we're 100 years away from that robot. Like we got robots and they go, that robot can dance and that robot can jog and stuff like that. But, the shit that these guys are doing, installing just something like a very basic part of plumbing would be installing a garbage disposal. That's kind of easy DIY stuff. We're a long ways away from a robot being able to show up and install a garbage disposal, and not to mention, roofing, and then also lots of sort of editorial decisions you have to make sort of there. It's not just all about move one thing to the next place. Speaking of that, and Andrew has a picture of it. I sent him an update. They are starting on one lot I've seen in Malibu. They're starting to do the caissons into the ground. And I went by and I looked at the length of the cage, the caisson cage, a round cage, probably 2 foot around. I don't know, looks like Watts Towers or something. And if you go to the next picture, it's all rebar. I don't know why it's purple, but that shit is 6 stories. And it gets dropped into the ground and it goes all the way down, all the way into the earth. Like, I don't know that people know. I think I sent you a couple of these, Andrew. I don't know that people know how far into the ground this shit goes.
Is that earthquake proof? That's the reason for this? I don't
This
understand.
is more with the water. I don't know. But if you look at this picture, you can go to AdamCarolla.com. These are the cages that get dropped into the hole after the caisson drills into the earth. These things ain't 20 feet long.
No.
These things go off into the sunset. And by the way, they don't stick out of the earth. They go all the way in. So you got to drill all the way down.
And they drop this filled with concrete.
Yes, but here's the whole thing. Remember, Dawson, I'm not going to put you on the spot here, but remember the famous Joel McHale rant about him wanting a swimming pool?
Yes.
And I wanting my house built in 1929 with nothing.
Nothing.
The nothing rant. Now, if you can find the nothing rant, we'll accept it. But here's what I'm saying. Every house that's burnt down now that was built there in the 40s and 50s sat on telephone poles that got pounded 10 feet into the ground. Literally a telephone pole that was 11 inches around, made of wood, dipped in creosote, like dipped in tar, and then a pile driver just whacked it into the ground and whacked it in the ground 14 feet.
And we regulated ourselves into drilling to the center of the earth to dip caissons.
And then the house was built on top of those pylons, like the Malibu Pier. Wait a minute. Andrew, what year's the Malibu Pier? The Malibu Pier must be from the 40s or 50s. It's all just pylons pounded into the ground, out in the ocean.
Yeah.
Malibu Pier's been there for 65, 80 years. All right. So the point is, the point is this. They used to do it, and then they built the house in 1947. And in 2025, the house was fine. But then the fire took it. And now they go, you must build Hitler's bunker. And they go, but the house that was here before was on telephone poles that just got pounded into the ground. And they go, we're going to need 20 caissons all going 30 feet into bedrock. And those fucking things.
Yeah, who wrote this law? The rebar lobby?
When you stand under a 6-story building and you look up to a 6-story building, that's how far this stuff goes in. And by the way, that just gets you to the soil line. That gets you to the ground. You could, by the way, you could spend $3 million drilling, dropping yards and yards and yards of concrete pumped into everything, and you could put 20 of these things all around, all according to what the engineer wanted, blah, blah, blah. I could show up with a flathead shovel. You could have $2 million in this. I could show up with a flathead shovel and just shovel some sand over the top. The top looks like you took a trash can lid from a trash can and just put it on the ground. And you could walk up and go, well, they haven't started work here yet. Like, you couldn't even see it. What it would take to move that house with those 70 feet into the ground with hundreds of yards of concrete. And by the way, they're all going to get tied together with these huge grade beams. I mean, you are talking indestructible. And my whole thing, here's my whole thing. Okay, you have to upgrade from the telephone poles. Malibu Pier, 1905. It's still there. It's all wood. There's no caissons. It's just wood in the ground, just like every one of these houses was just wood in the ground. So here's what I'm saying. Here's all I'm saying. You would like to upgrade. Okay, fine. We didn't have the technology back then. Now we do have the technology. We have the rebar. We have the caisson rigs. We can pump the concrete. What you're saying is reasonable. So you making this new structure 5 times stronger than the old structure, I'll abide by that. It's going to take extra time. It's going to cost money. But fine, we'll make it 5 times stronger or 10 times stronger. But you are building this 2,000 times stronger. 2,000 times. Yeah. I mean, the difference between a telephone pole being pounded into the sand 12 feet and 7-story caissons littered all over the place with grade beams and rebar and pumped concrete. It's insane. It is so overkill that you don't. And so what happens is people go, it's a safety first kind of. Yeah, it's a safety first, but someone has to pay for that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, meaning you could go, I want to build a house. And then someone could go, I want 4-foot thick concrete walls in my house. And you'd go, yeah, I don't want to pay for that. That's going to cost too much. It's not worth it. You understand? You're making a house that could defeat an atom bomb. Somebody is paying, and the city doesn't pay for it. So the city engineer just goes, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go. How far do you want to go into bedrock? 5 feet. Make it 25 feet. Because they're not the one who's there drilling it and doing it. It is, if this is by the way, this is just on a lot in Malibu. This is next to Grant Cardone's house. I was just walking last night and I saw it. And then I got up this morning and I went there to take a picture like an insane man. And I talked to the guys working the caisson rig. And by the way, it's not a fast process. You got to go down all the way down. Anyway, I talked to the guys and they were like, yeah, we're going about 70 feet, each one of these. I'm like, okay, you're going to have $3 million tied in to shit we can't see. I mean, they'll get the grade beams poured and stuff, but before the first 2x4 piece of plywood, the first building piece of material, just what's in the ground, you have millions of dollars into the ground.
I don't understand the benefit. Like,
if you're gonna, here's the benefit
against earthquakes. I don't get it.
Bureaucrats.
Yeah, no, I know. Everybody needs a job.
Well, the benefit is this. I will never, if I'm the engineer, right, and you go, I want to engineer this thing. Could be a tool shed, and I go, it's just a 8x8 tool shed. We don't need more than a 2x4 roof rafter or ceiling joist. It's nothing, and I go, yeah, okay, make it a 2x10. And you go, oh, that's way over for what I need. I mean, it doesn't have a second story. And I go, yeah, let's make it a 2x10. And you go, but that's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to take more time. Whatever. In my world, if it's 2x4s and somebody falls through the roof, I'm getting sued.
Yeah.
I'll just go 2x10 and then I'm covered.
Yeah.
So I'll go maximum and then I'll be covered. So that's what they do. They just go, you want to do caissons 20 feet into the ground? You go, yeah. They go, make it 80 feet.
And
and they just walk away. They don't.
Yeah.
If they had to cut a check, they wouldn't do it.
I believe in La Jolla, there were some examples where they didn't get down into the bedrock and they didn't really secure the foundation to the cliffs, and I think some of those resulted in some major lawsuits a long time ago.
It can happen, but let's not forget every other house that burnt down was on telephone poles across from the 1905 telephone pole pier called the Malibu Pier, and now you got these cages, and it's going to be $200,000 a cage to drill it, drop it, form it, fill it with concrete, and that just gets you to the dirt. It literally just gets you to the dirt.
And then conversely, you have like no new regulations on fire retardant and new, you know what I mean?
You can frame it out of wood after that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So 0 cents.
I don't know, but if somebody said, look, if you were in Nevada and you're on a flat lot and somebody said, I want to build a 2,000 square foot home here, because these houses are only going to be 1,800 feet, 2,000 square feet. They're not going to be that big. And he said, all right. And you go, how much? You go, well, let's say the foundation, slab, footing, whatever, you're in for $75,000 or $100,000 or whatever. Then you can build the house for, $400 a square foot. But what if I said it's going to be $3 million before you start building anything? There's going to be It's going to be $3 million buried in the ground before you start anything. That's the crazy part. So I didn't.
So it's like a nightclub. They're like charging $70 for a drink. That way they keep the pours out.
I just know it's city, it's bureaucracy. It only goes one way, and it gets crazier, and the engineering gets crazier, and it just goes deeper and bigger and stronger and more unnecessary. And I did it. I did it when I pulled a permit to build my super garage. I had to put, I don't know if you have that, but I had to do the caissons there.
I got the famous nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yes, if you want to do any building in this goddamn city, especially if it's up in the hills, you must either build the Hoover Dam
Hold
or
on.
Hitler's.
This is like 18 years ago, by the way. This is me 18 years ago ringing the bell. Go ahead, sir.
Hide behind the veil of safety. Hey, just playing it safe. Hey, better safe than sorry. Hey, we're an earthquake country. My house was built in 1929. It has no reinforced concrete, no plywood, because plywood wasn't invented, no Simpson straps, no HDs, no hold downs, no all thread, no J bolts, no nothing. Nothing. They had some poor Irish guy, poor foundation, and they set a house on it.
He's sweating
That
blood.
was it. There was no straps and no Tico clips and no 835s and no continuous shear wall and no moments and no nothing. No nailing schedule, no inspector, no nothing. Now, nothing.
Nothing.
Now, that house was built in 1929, and you know where it is today? Right the F where it was put. By all the dead people with no hold downs and no rebar and no bunkers and no straps and no nothing. Why? It's in earthquake country! It's in earthquake country! Now, what do you think the house did, you retards? Did it sprout legs and run to Montana every time there was an earthquake and then hustle back and land on its foundation?
By the way, this is
It's set.
at about 8:20 on a nice August morning in 2006.
Years, no pylons, no grade beams, no
Joe
retaining
McHale.
walls, nothing!
I don't know what we're yelling about!
80 goddamn years through every goddamn earthquake this city could put up, and it has moved not an inch. But yet, when I add a garage onto the back of the house, it has to withstand an oil tanker running aground and plowing into the side of it. Why? Because the structure that I build new can't be twice as strong as the existing house, can't be 10 times as strong, can't be 1,000 times as strong. It must be 1,000,000 times as strong as the structure that it's next to. Well, first off, what do you think? Where do you think me and the kids are going to be when the next big one hits? In the garage? Hey, kids, we moved your cribs out to the garage so we can withstand a nuclear attack. Listen, you idiots, make the goddamn thing stronger than the existing structure, not 1,000,000 times stronger.
All right, that went on for another 10 minutes. Of me screaming nothing.
I recall.
It's literally like saying, look, we got a new car and it's a little bit safer. And you go, what's it got? Crumple zones and airbag? No, it's got a full roll cage and fire suppression system, and it's a Kevlar tub, and then you have to wear a 6-way harness. It's like my grandpa's Buick worked fine.
Not need tank treads on that Buick.
I'm going to keep going over there and checking those. I'm going to find out how many yards they got to pump in every one of those holes. It is such
What's the path
colossal
to like
overkill.
deregulation? Would it have to be a complete regime change? Get Newsom
all right,
out of there?
So you got to convince. You have to convince dumb chicks that less safe is better.
All right,
number
good
one.
luck.
Yeah,
Good
number
luck
one.
explaining that to Katie Porter.
Right. The same bitches who shut schools down for 2 years because of school safety and teacher safety. And, well, okay, so your kid's healthy, but what if he gets it and brings it home? Because we all live with our grandparents, don't you know? Because it's like Italy in 1939 here in Southern California. You're going to have to convince one of those bitches that we should make it less safe, that we should go in a less safety direction, even though basically what you're saying is go to 1,000 times overbuilt. Can we just go to 500 times overbuilt? Right. But they would never go. So we're going less safety, which optically they don't like.
No.
We're going with, hey, the rich guy cutting the checks is getting gouged. So it's Rich Whitey wants a break and less safety. That's strike 1 and 2 for those bitches. It's not like they ever cut a check. They just tell you to cut a check. And it would also get them to have to understand some like basic engineering and some basic economics and some basic decency. And that's out of the
It's a
bucket.
bridge too far.
Right. They're the people that blame Toyota for catalytic converter theft. So they're not clear. You have to convince them, and then something on the Coastal Commission, and it's a bunch of angry bitches who are, by the way, pissed at rich people who are building on the coast.
Well, if you could reframe it as like a housing crisis solution to bring the regulations down, I think that could win some voters.
Yeah, if I told them my transitioning mixed race son /
Well, speaking of how hot JFK was,
Hey, we did not say that. We did
Chris,
not say
we
that.
know where
Adam.
Chris
We
is
did not
on
say
the
that.
spectrum.
I did watch that Last of Us episode with Offerman. I loved it. Anyway,
So great.
So
Thank you.
There's these videos that have been coming out of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. just looking jacked.
Really?
Yeah. Over the weekend, he put up these videos.
Me and Adam don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're going to find out. I want to know what you think about this.
I want to see it.
So he put the caption, quote, "Getting in shape for my debates with President Biden." And the first one, he's doing a bench press. And this is at Gold's Gym in Venice.
Well, he better watch himself with Biden, because I saw a presser that he did in the 80s. He said he was Mr. Olympia. He was Mr. Universe.
He had
6 years.
three titles.
6
Three
years
titles.
running.
Mr.
He
Universe.
had set the squat, bench, and clean record at Vanderbilt in 61. That's what he said.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, top of.
Yeah,
top of-
sorry.
Yeah, so watch.
that
Yeah,
him?
you play. You go ahead and play it. So yeah, here's him.
How old is he?
He's almost 70.
69.
Wow, he looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that upper body. And working out in jeans.
Yeah,
That's a turn off, though.
that's
I
what
hate
guys-
that.
It's
Ugh.
You
weird.
don't like the shirtless jeans.
That's a
I
turn
don't
off?
like people who work out in street clothes. I don't
He
like it.
actually looks exactly like a G.I. Joe action figure.
He kind
Yeah.
of does.
No,
you're
you know
right.
who he is? He's Ned Flanders.
Oh, yeah. Because
yeah.
you can't tell when he has his suit on.
That's what Ned Flanders would
Yes.
do. They'd pull the windbreaker off, and he was jacked.
Play the push-ups one. There's also one of him doing some
Well,
push-ups.
before, okay.
He's well built. We get it. But listen, when he would come in here, he's been in here a couple of times, I think.
God.
He's one of these guys
Good
who
for him.
he came in, and I was like, this guy's yoked. I can see it.
You can
I'm
tell.
like, I can
you can tell
say it
because
on
you're
the
on
air.
the spectrum. You saw the outline of his muscles.
He's got a thin waist and a big
Look
built
at him.
upper body.
He's definitely taking human hormone.
HGH.
There is suspicion that
There definitely is. It's
definitely
just, and
taking
then,
something
look,
for
he
it.
looks good. He looks better than some of the other guys that take it. Whatever, you take what you have to take, but he looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is this Muscle Beach? Is that where this is,
Yeah.
or somewhere?
Venice
okay.
Beach, yep.
Where does the? Hey, I'm gonna take my shirt off. Where does that? Where does that conversation? Do you go? Hey, you want the cameras? We got some cameras here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to?
Well, it's
He brought the camera.
I'm gonna take my
Well,
shirt off.
I
I'm gonna
gotta-
take my shirt off for
If
this.
I had that body, my shirt would be
Sure,
off
it'd be
right
off.
now.
yeah, right now. What-
Yeah.
I mean,
well.
yeah.
Here's the question then. He's wearing jeans and a belt.
Didn't prepare.
You can take a dress shirt off because you can go, I'm motivated to take my dress shirt
Yeah.
off. But if
Yeah.
you're wearing a T-shirt, then you should leave it on because you're already working out in
He
your
wants
jeans.
everyone to
You're already
see
working
this,
out.
though. Look,
Yeah.
look what he's done.
Yeah, he's comparing himself to Biden. This is a jab at
In
Biden.
that case, because I was going to say if you go back to that weightlifting, that's an incline, and those aren't 45s. I think those are those are
25s
small
or 15s.
But
or
if you're
something.
comparing yourself to, we could all do that.
Yeah.
that amount of weight, but not at that age. And if you're comparing yourself to Biden,
Yeah.
No.
and he
Yeah.
does. How many does he do before he gets?
He does like 7 reps.
and then the guy
I
starts
mean, he
helping
clearly
him.
8.5
works out. I
push-ups.
mean, he does enough to keep his body in that shape, which is good.
4. Yeah, he does 4 or 5. Yeah.
6. Yeah. Good. Well, either way, just
But
somebody.
you know what? Again, when I see people at the gym and they're in jeans or in street clothes, I want to scream. I don't know what it is. It really upsets me for some reason.
But can it be hotter? Like, did you see Con Air?
Yeah. Top
Nick
Gun.
Con
Cage.
Air.
Nick Cage.
They crash landed the plane. It got
Yeah.
stuck in a bunch of like a dirt embankment.
Yeah.
And all the dudes had to take the shirts
had
off,
to.
but they had
Right.
the prison jeans on, and they had to like tow it out of the dirt.
That's fine.
That was
That's
fucking
fine.
hot.
They're
And I'm
doing
not even
work.
on the spectrum.
You're so there. I'm talking about when I went to the gym. I'm in my workout clothes, and people off the street come to work out. They're clearly coming to the gym. They know their gym, and they're wearing jeans.
I don't like it.
It bothers me. It like
about
upsets me almost for some
Yes.
reason.
So
It's like it's not right.
Did the Top Gun volleyball scene not do anything for you?
No. I'm saying I like men with their shirts off. In fact, my one boyfriend was so hot when I was like 25, 26. We were meeting friends for brunch outside. It's a nice place. And I just said to him, take your shirt off. He's like, why?
Whispered like that?
I go, just take it off. It's so hot. Don't you want to take your shirt off? He's like, we're at brunch. And I convinced him to take it off because I wanted my friends to see his body.
In 2020.
He did it.
Good for him and you.
I know. Look at the Con Air cast with the shirts off and the dungarees. That's fucking hot.
Now, who's in charge of pulling up the? Who's
You're
in
getting
charge of
gayer
pulling
by
up the images?
second.
Did Ben find that a little too quick?
Yeah.
Or did
it was on his phone?
Yeah.
he knew it?
This
He
whole
goes, "What Con Air?
building-
Oh, I got it. Don't
This
worry
whole
about
building
it."
is sliding
He didn't
down that
seem like he had to
spectrum.
search it. He
Right
didn't
into
seem like he had to
blowjob.
search it.
All right. Anyway, he's yoked. Good for him.
Yeah. That's nice.
All right.
He's not going to debate. Biden's not going to debate him. Biden's not leaving the house. But all right.
So the biggest news at this moment is they found a new host for Wheel of Fortune.
Oh,
really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That was quick.
It's quick. It's Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What?
So he just
He
announced
has
it.
enough. Isn't he still like Kelly and Ryan too?
No, he left in
He did
February.
quit that.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a free agent.
Yeah, 48
He's a
years
free agent.
old. Yeah, just left live with Kelly and Ryan. He put up a statement on his Twitter just saying.
But you
that
have
he's
to
excited
turn the
do it.
letters to read it.
Yeah, it says, I'm truly humbled to be stepping in the footsteps of the legendary Pat Sajak. I can say, along with the rest of America, that it's been a privilege and pure joy to watch Pat and Vanna on our television screens for an unprecedented 40 years,
a run.
making us smile every night and feel right at home with them. Pat, I love the way you've always celebrated the contestants and made viewers at home feel at ease. I look forward to learning everything I can from you during this transition. Many people probably don't know this, but one of my first jobs was hosting a little game show called Click for Merv Griffin 25 years ago. So this is truly a full circle moment.
Spectrum. Merv was on that Spectrum, boy.
Yeah.
He was way to the
He was
right.
an apprentice.
Yeah.
So, and he says, I can't wait to.
So
continue
Vanna's
tradition
staying
with him.
on, right?
Vanna's staying on. She's trying to renegotiate her contract, but.
Is that
she's
why
staying
Pat's
on.
leaving?
She has a year left. Pat's leaving.
because he's
just
time.
leaving. Yeah.
He
I
knows.
think Pat is just borderline going to get canceled. Like,
I
he's
just
like
heard
on the
he
edge.
is
on
not
Twitter.
a nice person.
Right?
I heard
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
just
really?
such a not a
Get
nice
out while you
person.
can.
What is he?
I like
an
Pat.
asshole?
No, I like I
Pat.
align
He's
with
a
what he
right-winger?
says. Yeah,
He is a
yeah.
right winger.
Oh,
okay.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I heard he's just not nice on set to people. That's what I've heard.
I don't know.
maybe.
Does anyone, I mean, I know you have the money. I know you have the notoriety. I know you have the consistency in terms of your job. But do you really want that career where you just forever this
He probably
person?
didn't think he was going to have that career forever.
Like
He
Drew
thought-
Carey is doing it, and then Wayne Brady does it. The daytime
Yes.
game shows, right?
I think, but they actually, their career was like, they had a career as a comic and they were touring and then they went to this because they wanted
They
the
wanna chill
stability
out a
and they
little
wanted
bit.
the money.
Yeah.
Pat started at this. This is like one and only thing.
I have
That's all he's
Drew
ever
Carey on my Mount Rushmore of most money for least funny. Like who
else is on there? Who else is on there?
Oh,
Well,
most money.
I mean, you have to really do a deep dive. Like Kevin Hart is not funny, but he's a really funny actor. But it's like stand-up isn't very funny, but he's a super hard-working guy and
Okay,
he's a
so-
businessman
so he
and stuff
shouldn't
like
be on
that.
there.
So
Yeah.
Tyler Perry.
he's
just-
like off that list.
Tyler Perry just bought BET and VH1.
Oh, he got
Really?
it.
Yeah.
Oh, Byron
Wow.
was
Tyler
vying
Perry.
for that. So
Well,
but
there's
Tyler
always
got it.
this might be, I don't, as a comic, I feel like people love to glorify the comics that passed away. Like my favorite comic was Robin Williams.
Yeah,
but
like
wouldn't-
nobody loved Bob Saget when he was alive.
That's what I was
just-
saying.
but-
Yeah,
oh, wait, I don't
yeah.
want to sound like a douche.
No, I
Bob-
agree.
I knew everyone Bob Saget knew, and everyone agreed he was the nicest guy in the
Yes.
world. And everyone
Nicest
loved
guy.
Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Everyone loved Bob Saget. No one said he's a shitty comedian.
Right.
They never said anything good about
Yeah.
his comedy. They were just like, oh, Bob's a great guy.
Yeah.
We love Bob. Bob,
Yep.
I'll do his
Yep.
event. I'll do whatever. Everyone loved Bob Saget, but they didn't do he was a great comedian.
Right.
But when you die, same with Brody over at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no one,
And this isn't
no
even
one
dis-
cared
yeah,
about
but
his
even the guy with,
comedy. They liked him.
the glasses and the long hair, whatever, that did the one-liners on the Tonight Show all the time, and it was like, "This is the greatest." What's his name? And it's
All
the
right,
same
we're gonna
with.
think about. Hold on, glasses,
Long hair.
long hair.
How long ago did he
Emo
die?
Phillips.
No, I tried to write my name. I was gonna get my teeth cleaned. Instead, I just got a tan.
Right, that
Mitch
kind of stuff.
Mitch Hedberg. Yeah, Mitch
Oh,
Hedberg.
Mitch
My
Hedberg.
bad. My
Mitch
bad.
Hedberg.
But it's cool to say, oh, you know who I like?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, of
but
course.
they're not here anymore. It's like
Right.
Yeah,
nobody when I was coming up, I didn't hear much. I loved Robin Williams, and now one of the best, right? Because
Right. I mean that happens. That's why I'm going to be worshipped after I'm.
Well,
after
I
I'm
think it
gone.
has to be an untimely death. For it to
Untimely
really-
death.
Yes,
yeah.
untimely.
Be part of the
Yes.
legacy.
Having said that,
Yeah.
I saw. I mean, I've seen, as you probably have, Robin at the Comedy Store. I remember it was a while ago, but he was working at an hour, and I mean, I think he was a brilliant actor. I think he was really good.
Nobody's
at
gonna disagree
acting.
with that. Yeah,
and his comedy, I mean, the first 5-10 minutes, people were just laughing because it's Robin Williams and he's being really goofy, and then he started getting into his material, and I was like, this is awful.
And
You just was like, nobody else. I was just like,
Who else is dead that we hate?
Oh, so, no, I
Geraldo,
thought,
but he
was a nice guy though too. Greg Geraldo. Yeah,
I'm gonna say, what's the name of the black guy that they always do the fundraiser for every year with Bill Burr and
Patrice.
Patrice is a great comic.
All right, well, so let's just say this, so we're not being disrespectful. Anyone's gone. There are people that are immense talents.
Yes.
Like you think
Yes.
of Robin Williams.
He's an
as
immense
As a
talent.
crazy
Yes.
talent, and I think of Kevin Hart that way too. Like he's a great talent. He works his ass off or whatever.
Yep.
Not a fan of the stand-up, but fine. And yes, we do have to do this thing. There's
Alex Trebek is one of he died.
yeah, no one. But the people that do the game shows for a million years with too much reverence. For them,
We love Alex Trebek. He can do no wrong.
I don't care about Alex.
So where do you put him? Where do you put him in
the spectrum, on the gay
pantheon
spectrum.
of?
No, look, when people are worried about Jamie Foxx,
they
mean it.
What is going on with him?
Nothing good, but the point is that they go, that guy's a fucking
That guy's a
talent.
monster.
He's a
That guy's a
talent.
monster.
He's a
of talent.
And he's a
We're
nice
not-
guy. That's another thing. He's a
We're
nice
not
guy.
just being nice because there's an issue.
I think it's because, when they die while in their not prime, but while they still have
An
a lot of
untimely
good
death. Yes, they
years
could have,
left.
yes.
Yeah.
Like Kurt Cobain is also one of them.
Yeah.
Who?
Yep.
Kidding.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a new study. Math and reading scores among America's 13-year-olds have fallen to their lowest
Shocking.
levels
No
in decades.
way. I don't
Shocking.
believe
I don't
this.
believe that
I
either.
know.
This can't be.
This is not The Onion. With math scores plunging by the largest margin ever recorded.
Right.
Yeah, according to the results of a federal test known as the Nation's Report.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
That makes sense.
School teachers unions who closed the schools down for 2 years and fucked all the kids up, all the brown and black kids that you claim to care about. You just mortgage their future
As adults,
because you're greedy assholes.
When usually adults can work from home, we barely do it. And now you can, that's the in essence saying, hey, kids, you stay at home and everybody's on their
Yes, of
iPads where
course.
also the games and the YouTube is, hey,
Everything.
go into your room and do your math.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Have no social interaction
See
with
you
any
there.
of your friends.
And everybody suffered. Like even the top performing students all still saw a
Yes.
decrease, and then the low performing students saw an even bigger decrease, a bigger margin of decrease.
Who is that? Is that Roberta Weintraub?
Yeah.
Randy
Weingarten.
It's Randy
I was
Weingarten.
screwing up. Randy Weingarten fucked
Roberta.
our nation up as a proponent for closing schools, as the leader of the unions. If you guys don't think these unions are bad, think about how much control they have. Fucking telling Rochelle Walensky at the CDC to go rework her story about opening schools. That's how much power they yield. And she just got appointed to like the Homeland Security Council or whatever like that. It is insane. You fucking coward, hypocrite, horrible, horrible teachers unions. I told you in real time this was a horrible idea. I disagreed with you. You called me like an elitist and a racist and fuck what do. Could one of you spineless pussies come onto the show and let's have a debate about it? Or are you just going to cower?
I think you need to do some push-ups.
Ugh. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I just said it. But here's the other thing, too. And here's what I want to say. And then I'm going to be done being angry. Forget about me. Forget about me. They closed the schools. I said, this is a horrible idea. It never had anything to do with kids. COVID didn't affect kids. It was always about the elderly. They hid that from you. They did not share that information with you. When the dust settles on COVID, and it is, all the information that's coming in is it did not affect kids in a negative way. The percentages for like people under 19 were 0.000 3 zeros and a 6, a point and 3. It did not kill young people. It never did. They knew it. They knew it early, and they didn't say shit about it. And so, all right, MSNBC, CNN, LA Times, New York Times, you all have fucking blood on your hands because you could have found out the answer. I knew it. And I was told to shut up over and over again. I knew it 8 days in, when we didn't get numbers reported, when I wasn't getting the ages of people who are dying, I was immediately suspicious. I put a tweet out, said it kills old people and sick people, and the rest of you pussies got played. Everyone attacked me. I told them to suck my dick, and I'm still telling them to suck my dick. Go find the tweet and tell me I'm fucking wrong, you liars. But here's the real question. It's not the LA Unified School District. It's not Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
It's not Mayor Garcetti. It's not Roberta Weintraub or Randy Weingarten or any of the fucking Yentas. It's not Rochelle Walensky. It's not Fauci. It's not anyone who's in on it. It's not everyone who's in on it. It's not them. It's not the CDC. It's not the Wuhan Health Department. It's not any of it. What the fuck happened to people?
Yep.
LeBron James, where were you fucking coward? Where were the celebrities?
Yep.
Where were the late night show hosts? Where were the tastemakers? Where were the fucking rappers? Where were you people? Where were the comedians, you fucking cowards? I said it. I said it over and over again. I got fucking attacked over and over again. I got nothing. Where were all you cowards? Where were the guys who run Netflix? Where were all the big names? Where the fuck was The Rock? Where was Kevin Hart? Where were you people? If you guys had chimed in, they would have fucking turned.
Yeah.
They would have reversed course immediately. If LeBron James and Barack Obama and Michelle Obama and Oprah and all the fucking tastemakers, if you fucking cowards had chimed in early when you knew what was going on, then they would have turned. But you wouldn't do it because you wanted your fucking money, you pussies. Thank you. That's all I have to say on that.
Nah, keep going.
Jesus fucking Christ. Where was everybody? The people fold immediately.
They were all scared.
They're all scared, but the politicians would have turned it around if LeBron James and all the tastemakers would have fucking piped up.
Nobody wanted to take that
fucking
risk.
Radio silence. Except for telling me to shut up.
Yeah.
The thing on the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember
Awesome.
reading an article on Substack where this girl, Substack was like the only place you could put anything back in like 2020. And she was this whole long, and she said all of the celebrities and all these blue check marks were DMing her privately. Like, thank you for saying this. And she was just going, yes, help me.
Yeah.
Right.
They go, we can't, but we agree.
Right.
And then you're gonna, and this news here is these type of articles are gonna be coming out for the next 20 years. These people's health, their mental health, depression is isolation, not going to go into school, not going to work, the GDP of the country is down, the production is down, like all the you can't get a Range Rover because they don't have the rivets because nobody was making them for 2 years. Everything is backed up.
Yeah. The people from Netflix, nobody there were going to speak up. They were making so much money. They made so much money because people were home watching TV. There were so many people that made so much money.
The tastemakers could, if the Obamas, if Oprah, if LeBron James, if like people,
follow the money.
If the tastemakers fucking said something, they would have stopped, but they wouldn't do it. Because they're fucking cowards.
They're so scared. They're scared that they would get canceled, and some of them actually believe it because they were like completely petrified.
Yeah.
I heard there's a related article that the talent of the skateboarders at Venice Beach is also declining because they had sand. They had sand in the skate park for 2 years. They can't do as many kickflips as they used to.
Fucking sad.
Put the work in.
They've done.
Now we just got Kennedy out there all jacked up.
I know.
He
wanted to skate.
Fucking jeans. This is what happens.
This is what happens.
Before I move on, so you want to know the students from almost every race and ethnicity saw the math course slide, but the steepest drops. American Indian students were number one.
Yeah, whoever's lowest on the totem pole, whoever's lowest gets hurt the most.
The most.
Yeah. That's the way. That's the way it works. So they were. They're lowest. They're lower than black. They're lower than Hispanic, and have been on this education. So they get hurt the most. And then of course the people with parents and tutors and private schools and Gavin Newsom's kids, they go to private schools. So
same with us. Same with the comics. I mean, we that all had. I do a lot of videos online and the podcast. That the comics that were working survived, and the young, up and coming, they all went to Uber Eats, or they all went. They don't now. And they never came back. Also,
a lot of them
just never came back.
A lot of them left, and it was sad, and
because we could
move back home.
We could they all moved. That we could survive a couple months.
But
without
I mean,
income.
here's the thing. I think the younger ones, some of the younger ones that I know. stayed in it. I mean, they left and then they came back. It was the ones that are in the middle, not the ones that are that were really making a lot of money, and not the ones that are making nothing already. It was the ones in the middle that were kind of getting by and close to maybe getting something. They had a little bit of momentum.
And didn't have a job otherwise.
Didn't have a job otherwise because they could go on the road.
But 3 months would take them out of business.
Yes, 3 months easily. I had a lot of friends that called me and were like, their entire schedule was canceled, and that was their entire year, and they had to.
It's all going to be about ages. All going to be about kids. All be about cover up of kids.
Yeah.
That's what I said from the very beginning. That's where it shall remain.
And here we are.
Called it early. That's what I said.
Black students number 2.
Now, of course.
Then white students, and then Asian students held even.
Yes.
Look at us.
The parents care.
Of course they did.
And by the way, the share of students missing 5 or more days of school in a month have doubled since.
Yes.
2020.
We talked about that at the beginning of the episode.
Unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Which I knew. And by the way, when you're in education, you're supposed to see these things coming down the road,
Yes.
you fucking retards.
Yes.
Ugh.
All right. So Don Lemon just gave his first interview since his CNN firing.
No one gives a shit about Don Lemon.
well,
Nobody.
These are
Nobody.
wild
Well,
headlines.
ABC 24 Memphis sure does. Nobody, they scored the
nobody
first
said,
interview.
Did you hear what Don Lemon said unless he said something stupid?
Oh, because he got fired. This is his first.
This is his first interview since his CNN firing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he opened up in a sit-down interview 2 months after the firing. So here it is.
Is that him?
No, this is the interview.
Oh, that's a
I was
black
like, he looks so
simile. You're on the
different after
spectrum.
he's been fired. So different.
This guy kind of looks like him. All right.
So, Don, you say for those concerned about your departure from CNN, it fundamentally came down to truth and responsibility?
I have a responsibility not only as a journalist, but as an American to tell the truth.
They lied about COVID for
Abide
3
by
years.
The promises of the Constitution. Because the Constitution says a more
same room,
perfect
didn't
union,
even
not a
say.
perfect union. I'm not a perfect person. No one is.
One has
But I
plants.
think
This is like a hotel
the
lobby.
Constitution deserves us in order to fulfill the promise of the Constitution,
Here
we
comes
have
the
to stand up for what
Clip
is right.
art.
We
Yeah.
have to stand up for the truth.
Who are these fucking assholes who were cheering when every small business was shut down and every skate park was buried with sand? It was like stand up and cheering, screaming about wanting some woman who owned a salon in Texas shut down and shit. And then they start talking about the Constitution and
care about
rights
truth.
and
Yeah.
truth.
Truth.
Fuck right off. Number one, he said my least favorite thing where he goes, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. Just shut the fuck up. Shut up. I never want to hear that from another human being.
We got
yes,
it.
it's called degrees. Yes, nobody's perfect. Got it. But you can still murder people, and I don't want to be included with the imperfections of murders.
Yeah.
It's the perfect spectrum.
That seemed like a little bit of a like Tucker. He's gone on his show on Twitter, and he has he has a nice setup, and he's got a crew there, and
he's
it like
fine.
that seemed a little bit like a Hampton Inn. type thing.
They
And
weren't even in the same room.
And
He
it
was
also seemed
totally
like
in a conference
he's
room
like,
with the
hey,
other guy.
I'll do an interview, but like with one of my like college frat buddies.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be pulled to the carpet on any of this.
That was
so-
an insider.
Yeah, that
totally. Oh,
he's
totally.
not pulling him to the carpet on that.
You will never hear from Don. I mean, you'll hear from Don Lemon, but I want to hear from Don Lemon like I want to hear from Ryan Seacrest, which is not at all. You have nothing to say.
Well, he's
now,
on line one, Ryan.
It's weird.
Hey.
It's weird that you had a job where we think we want to hear from you. We don't. We won't. We will not hear from them.
Such a
you will
big
hear
fall
from
from
Tucker
grace,
Carlson.
yeah.
You'll not hear from Don Lemon.
Yeah, Don Lemon had his own show. He was
Yeah.
like the guy, and then now he's
He's a narcissistic idiot.
Well,
So
see,
you're
a
not
lot of
gonna hear
those,
from
a
him.
lot of those guys, which is similar because it's similar to this podcast, really. And a lot of like, if you look on the top podcast charts, it's all like Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, like all these super right. And then they have like audiences. But who's the guy that was hooking up with his secretary or whatever and locking the door from the inside on CBS?
Oh, Lauer.
Yeah,
Was
so-
that Lauer?
Oh, nice.
Matt Lauer.
I
Yeah,
think it was
yeah.
Matt Lauer.
So him and these
Nothing
lot
to
of-
say.
No, because they nothing
They don't
to
say anything.
And
Well, they repeat a company
'Cause they don't-
line. They
and
have
listen,
a party line.
and
What
they
were
don't
they
have-
saying about COVID? They were
Yes.
just saying nothing. They're saying the fucking same shit everyone told them to say. So
Yes.
they have nothing to say.
They have no. So those guys, when they get canceled or taken off, like all of us, I would include us and all those guys I mentioned and you, we have a fan base. So fans follow us. We don't. If Matt Lauer is gone from CBS, he's gone.
He's gone.
Don Lemon is
No,
gone
he's
because he doesn't have any. No one cares about what
He's the host from The Bachelor. Nobody gives a fuck what that guy's doing. Like, people don't understand. You fire Chris Harrison from The Bachelor. He's gone because he doesn't say anything.
Gone and he's replaceable.
Matt Lauer's gone. Don Lemon is gone. They're mouth fucking pieces.
And that's what you and you heard that about Tucker.
Sam Tripoli, spelled pretty much phonetically, right?
Yeah.
SamTripoli.com. You can find out about all that stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah. Didn't change my name up. Sometimes I wish I would and come up with a cool stage name, but went with my dad's name, which is my name.
Oh, yeah. You know what I was talking about the other day? You can tell a lot about your family by their sort of ambivalence to stuff, you know? And I realized I had two instances with my family. My dad, who was just sort of, you know, he's like a Labrador, which is, you know, nice, but he ain't doing anything for you. He's just going to hang out. Right. You know what I mean? And I said to him once, I go, I don't have a middle name. What is that? I mean, why no middle name? Now, I know what it is. It's effort. Like the people that give their kids 5 middle names, I always get pissed off, but it's because they love the shit out of them, or at least they did when they were born. But I said to my dad, I go, why no middle name? And he goes, I don't know. It just means like, I don't know. You wouldn't name you wouldn't name your neighbor's kid. You wouldn't give him a middle name. Well, why? He didn't care, you know? And then he goes, I don't know. You should ask your mom. And I asked my mom, and she goes, I don't know. Ask your dad. I go, okay, neither one of you know because you're just like, you know, who cares? But my dad, I realized I got his brother, Ralph, when he died, he left behind like a Purple Heart or some accommodation from the war. And my dad gave it to me. And I looked at it and it said Ralph Carolla. And I said, your brother went by Carolla? Yeah. And you go by Carolla? And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, why did your brother go by a different last name? And he goes, I don't know. I was like, oh, you never... These are things normal people would like ask and have answers for. And I realized it's not that he's not like inquisitive. It's like he's such the opposite of family that is like, I don't know. Why would you fucking ask that bum if he has a recipe for gazpacho? Like, I don't know. I'm not talking to him. Why would you talk to him? Like, but that's his brother. His brother goes by a different last name.
So crazy.
And I'm like, well, what is it? Is it Carolla? Is it Carolla? And he's like, I don't know why Ralph did that. Maybe it was.
But was it Carolla and Ralph just
what
changed
the hell?
it?
Now
no one don't ask me.
What was your grandpa's name?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he was a.
Was it Carolex?
He was a Jocko.
What?
Yeah, Jocko Carolla. That's a pretty good one. But he's an Italian
you don't hear that
guy.
Name ever, Jocko.
Jocko Carolla. Well, like
that's a nice
sort of
name,
Italian Jack or he died when my dad was like 18 or 19 or something.
Oh,
so
really?
I never met that guy.
My brother, I got 2 middle names. My brother got no middle name.
What?
And he's affected by it.
Oh, well, who are you talking to?
Yeah, he got so angry to the point he changed his name totally to my mother's maiden name and his nickname. That's my brother.
Okay. Well, is he pissed? See, I take it as a sign. Well, okay, I'll put it to you this way. For me, it's very consistent in their behavior or with their behavior. And that if they had, saved college money for me or bought me a car on my 16th birthday or something, I'd go, well, they're caring, loving, concerned people. But for them, it's total consistency. They didn't care then. They didn't really care later. So it makes sense. But your family, you got 2 and he got none.
None.
But is your brother pissed because it's sort of a metaphor for being sort of apathetic about him?
No. My brother was treated way better. My brother was the #1 high school bowler in New York State. And where I'm from,
really?
that means something.
Wow. #1.
Yeah, my brother could bowl 300s with both hands.
Really?
Yeah, he could get perfect game, both hands.
Really? Wow.
At a very young age, my brother was the chosen one.
Wow,
and he's more hung than I am, and he's younger, which is devastating.
So who needs a nickname?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll take the bigger dick and no nickname over 2 nicknames and a smaller dick.
Well, these aren't nicknames; these are middle names, right?
Names, yeah.
Yeah, the only good part of my saga is I gave myself a middle name.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Which is I just wrote in Lakers one day when I was at the DMV when I was like 22.
Your middle name is Lakers?
It's on my driver's license.
That's the best thing I've ever heard in
It's
my
on
life.
every fucking official document I have.
Hey,
Everything I have.
Snuck it in through the DMV?
Go get my phone.
That's weird, man.
Somebody get my phone. I will show you
believe
this.
it, but damn.
The great news is I am going to the Lakers game tonight, and every time I go to the Lakers game, this Jay Moore gets me in. Jeannie Buss just walks over, and I just pull that license out, and I go, I want a free beer, bitch.
That's awesome,
I want a fucking
dude.
hot dog on a stick.
That's awesome.
Well, the awesome part is if you don't have a middle name, there's just a blank square when you're doing paperwork, and then you just write in whatever you want. But
My daughters have cool middle names.
Do they? Wanna?
Yeah, Ninja, Ghost, and Ninja.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Ghost and
so
Ninja.
strange.
Yeah.
Really?
They're known on the internet by their middle names.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want scumbags knowing their real name. Because there's so many just autistic momos out there that will go after them. So they're known as from their middle names.
But their middle name, that's what it says on the birth certificate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun having a fun dad.
I guarantee you at some point they will go by their middle names. Because guys will love that. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm Ghost Tripoli. You're like, well, what's your real name? No, that's my legal name.
Listen,
Given
they're
to me by
right.
my parents.
You're right, but you don't want to go like full Frank Zappa. You know,
That's
because then you get
moon-based?
named Moon Unit
Yeah.
and Dweezil and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't mind Ninja Warrior,
Yeah.
Cash Widecock or
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah,
good,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But I don't want to be Dweezil
Yeah, 100%.
or Moon Unit.
Dweezil, dude. Imagine naming your kid Dweezil. Like, I just want him to get the shit kicked out of him forever.
Yeah. All right, I will pass that to you so you can verify.
There it is, dude. There it is.
There it is. There it
Well,
is.
my parents named me after Santa Claus.
What?
Yeah, Nicholas is my middle name. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I felt like weird hiding that from you. I was born the day before Christmas. Now I'm stuck with Saint Nick.
I'll tell you the guy we should all be
It wasn't
jealous
Mayhem.
of.
They didn't
Yeah,
give you
no.
Mayhem because that's
Got
the
that much
greatest
later.
name.
Yeah.
The guy we should be we should all sorry, I just turned my phone on. We should all say this about our dads when they pass, which is I'd heard that Tucker Carlson's dad passed like last week or something like that, right? Yeah, but you know, at a certain point you're old enough, they're old enough, you know, like I get it.
That's my goal.
Yeah, to
Get to that time where they're good and then wrap it up.
wrap it up. Yeah.
I don't want them wiping my butt. That is one of my goals in life.
Yeah. So I just shot him a note. I just said, hey, I heard your dad pass. Sorry about that. You know, nothing. Just short, stay strong. You know, thinking about you.
Guy shit.
Guy shit. And he writes back, thanks a million, Adam. And our family, he was everyone's hero. And he was fully himself to the minute he died. Never degraded or fundamentally diminished. That was the greatest blessing. I feel weirdly okay about it, actually. I knew him so well, and our relationship was so happy and uncomplicated that mostly I feel gratitude. Not a word left unsaid. And I just wrote back, I fucking hope my son says that about me when I die. I don't know, how are you doing better
That
than
is a
that?
new goal for me.
How? Not a word left unsaid.
You send the most basic thing, and he sent you the greatest thing.
I'm like,
No,
that's
no,
the way
I'm
you
fine
felt
with
about
it.
your dad. Yeah, I know. That's the great. What a feeling that must be. Like, he was the greatest guy. He was a hero. We didn't leave anything on the table. It was always discussed, and I feel blessed. I mean,
What a blessing. I think
Jesus Christ.
every dad that is in their kid's life want their children to say that for them, about them at the end.
well, and here's the caveat. You're going to have to earn it.
No, 100%.
You can't just be with your new girlfriend in Florida
Right.
all fucking year, never calling your kids on their birthday. Like, you're gonna you have to fucking earn it. You gotta take them out to a dinner. You gotta spend some time with them. You gotta have some discussion. Give them a cool
lessons
middle
of
name.
life.
Give them lessons of life. Like you gotta earn it. You want
dude.
that? You gotta earn it.
So my daughter now loves to play PS5, and I don't know if you've seen the games that kids play now. They're the most retarded shit you'll ever see in your life. It is. If it's dumbing down, it's dumbing down. But my daughter likes playing it. But, she's this generation that, because they can't go out and play. Dude, the children on my kids' block, they just turned 5.
Okay.
The children on my block are like the kids under the stairs. You see them, you're like, did I just see a kid? Can we play together? But they don't do it, right? So they've been playing on pads inside. And so I got her a PS5. I got me a PS5 that she could play. And so, but when it gets difficult, she wants to give up the game. So I gave her this Newt Rockney speech about how she's a Tripoli, because my dad gave me this. You're Tripoli, we don't quit, you power, and it's a 10-minute speech I gave this 5-year-old. I've been waiting to give this speech forever. And then after I was done, she went back and played, and I felt so good about myself. I walked into my kitchen, I saw my girlfriend, I go, did you hear the speech? She goes, she's 5 years old.
Yeah. Women don't like speeches, and they don't like motivational speeches, I've realized. But I gave the same speech to my daughter. I was like, listen, you're a Carolla or Carollo. It's not really been settled. Let's just table that for a second.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting it. Oh, you don't know who Newt Rockney is? How about the Gipper?
Yeah, you don't know anything.
All right, well, let me just kind of regroup. I'll be back. I'll be back. And let me see if I can get the name down here.
Yep.
Newt Gipper, the ultimate coach.
Let me give you the Newt Gipper speech.
Yeah, I've realized my son's turning 19, and I'm trying to find something for him, like stuff he could be good at, stuff he could get paid for. It's also funny. These kids don't have to do anything now.
They don't. They don't.
And people go, oh yeah, because you're rich guys, so your kids. Poor people don't need to do anything. Evidently, no one needs to do anything anymore. Everyone's just kind of.
Dude, my buddy's like, he can't get anyone to work. He goes, these kids don't want. He runs lifeguarding in Vegas, and my friend Mike B was telling me, he's like, I can't hire anybody. Nobody will do the jobs. And when I was a kid, this was like the greatest job you could get. I can't get any kids to do these jobs.
No, nobody wants to do anything anymore, and somehow aren't compelled. Like, you go, don't you need money? It's like, I got Apple Pay. It's like, I'm telling you what it is. It's air conditioning, big screen TVs, and edibles. Yep. Between those three.
Nobody's doing shit.
And Grubhub, everyone's just like, fuck it, man.
I don't need to leave the house.
I've talked to young people who used to work here, and I'd be like, you're a dude. Yeah. You're dirty. Yeah. What's the plan? They go, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I go, you kind of want to career-wise, do stuff. They go,
don't you want Chief?
The Taste of Encinos this weekend. We're going out to that. Oh. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm talking about career shit. And they're like, I said to one of them, I go, listen, you got air, you got a big TV, and you got pot. He's like, yep. And I'm like, that's kind of all you need, right? He goes, that's about it. And I go, you don't even fucking need a car, right? You just Uber and whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm like, oh, okay. We had a little fire in our belly because there was a fucking fiery orb outside called the sun, and we didn't have air conditioning. And I was like, I don't want to live in this cool hand Luke sweat
We were
box.
the last generation of that, the Gen X guys.
We were so miserable that we had to do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no misery index
There's
anymore.
none. They got everything they ever want, and it's to the point now they don't even want to date anymore.
Yeah. They got too much plastic circulating in their brain.
Yeah.
And they're starting to lactate now, right? And they're just like,
yeah.
And it's weird.
What the answer is.
I don't know. It's another thing that's weird too is you talk to dudes. Like I do this with my nephews and stuff. They're like 18 or whatever. And you go, hey man, what do you want to do? And they go, I don't know. They go, what do you like? And they go, I like eating out. And I go, I know, no, but stuff like, what's your passion, I don't know. It's like, well, what do you like? I like video games. I'm like, I know, I'm talking about fucking and fighting and building shit and rebuilding engines and fucking rolling on a mat with somebody, like that stuff. They're like,
Nothing.
And the dudes are detuned. Society has fucking tuned them. It's like somebody took their soup and dumped a sack of flour into it, and they're all just. Yeah. Someone told them that they were toxic and masculine, and they shouldn't be wrestling, and they shouldn't be asserting themselves, and they shouldn't get boners, and they shouldn't fuck, and they shouldn't fight, and all this stuff. And we got a bunch of guys who are just like, blah. And you're like, and you say to them weird shit, like you go like, you know, let's go out. Let's go to one of these sports car racing schools or something. Go do some hot laps at Willow Springs. And they're like, well, this Saturday's not good for me. It's like, you don't want to fucking you don't want to do some hot laps in a car? It's weird. I think society took dudes and they kind of demoralized them. And now they're
100%.
They're just apathetic now. They're just like, I don't, you want to go on a date? I don't want to get in trouble. I just beat off.
The Me Too's done so much damage.
I want to fuck. I don't know what the rules are. Yeah. I don't even want to try anymore.
It's the Me Too movement.
I got porn on my phone anyway, so I'm good.
And women are feeling it now too, because you hear women talk about at work. No one deals with them. Men don't want to, partner up with them on projects because they're so worried about being Me Too'd now.
Oh well, okay. We are living in the realm of unintended consequences. That's all we do. We go, we got to defund the police. All right, let's defund the police. Oh, fuck, they're breaking into every CVS and every house and every politician that wanted to get the cops defunded. They just broke into their house. Good, but unintended consequences.
Yeah.
We need, all right, and that same with DEI shit. Like, well, we need to be integrated. We need more black people. Well, once there's enough racial discrimination lawsuits, then companies or small businesses don't want to hire black people because they can't fire them. Because if they fire them for being a shitty employee, they're going to get sued and they're going to have to fucking settle up, even though it had nothing to do with the color of their skin. And it's the same with women. Like, oh, we're going to hire women and black people, and then what? Get sued every time we try to fire one of them?
Yep.
So you just go, I don't want the hassle. And it's an unintended consequence.
Or it's the intended consequence from the makers of mankind, the masters of mankind, to get us so everybody's siloed. And we're not interacting with each other, which is not how society runs. We all must interact with each other.
I totally agree. All right. What was the story I had about men? I was looking down on my page here, being sort of disenfranchised, but we're not. I scream it every day. Like, please do not neuter men. Just don't do it. You'll fuck your society up. You need guys.
You need men. You need driven men to create.
Right. All right. You got some news there?
I do have some news. I hope you paid your taxes already, because California's high-speed rail project needs to secure $7 billion by the summer of 2026.
Look at that, dude.
Here's a little piece of the track from Merced to Bakersfield and back. California's embattled high-speed rail project needs a lot more money, and it needs it soon.
Can you find... Hold on one second.
Yeah.
In the booth, can you find Gavin Newsom talking to Bill Maher about this? Because it's pretty fucking good.
Unbelievable. Bill Maher, who is consistently on his podcast bitching about the state of California, asking the guy literally the cause of destroying California to run for president. Why do you want to do that, dude? Like, do you just get a call from somebody like, hey, dude, you need to push this or we're going to take your show? I don't get it. I mean, you go back to interviews with him, Gavin Newsom, when he was mayor of San Francisco. Dude, he destroyed that city.
No, that's what I said. I saw that clip and I was like, you want the guy who destroyed California to destroy the nation? Like, give me a fucking break,
and you
Bill.
hate where California is, Bill.
It's a bizarre kind of alchemy of you sit around and you go, this is too much and this is too long and this is overregulated and this is whatever and we got to change the government. And then you go, when are you going to run for president?
Yeah, but he looks like the president. He looks like they would.
He's
hire
Trudeau, dude.
that guy.
Is the greatest psychopath. Him and Trudeau are the exact same guy.
Yes.
Good looking guy because they know that the super progressive wives will all vote for him. Doesn't matter what he does. He's cute. I'm going to vote for him. And this is what you get.
Watch out.
Yeah, watch this parry that he does.
They cross their legs the same way.
They do.
Trudeau, yeah, when you don't have a cock and balls, you do a full fucking twisty with the leg.
Right.
And what you do is Trudeau does it and Gavin Newsom does it. They do the full chick leg cross and that pulls the pant leg up and it shows a little bit of your colorful sock and then you signal to the world to go, all right, I know where that guy's
He's one of us.
I know where he is. He wears colorful socks and crosses his leg like a chick. All right, sorry, go ahead.
The governor of everyone in the state, and those are. Can you name 3 people who ever wanted to go from Merced to Bakersfield? I mean, I feel like. I'm just saying, it's like.
Let me challenge the premise, because I think in many respects this goes to, I think, the state of the Democratic Party. And I mean this with respect.
All right, hold on. He's going to challenge the premise, which is they're asking for another $7 billion to finish a train. There's a restaurant around Westwood, but sort of on the west side. And it's an Italian restaurant, and it's like authentic Italian, and people always go, Frank Sinatra used to love to eat here. And it has a train up on the top, like there's like a shelf, like, 8 feet off, and it's a miniature train, and it just goes around in a circle, and Frank Sinatra would go there and have spaghetti.
Yeah.
And it's cute. That train is more impactful to most folks who live in California than this train. I would argue there are more people who go to that Italian restaurant and enjoy the train than there are going to be humans who live in California who don't have a vehicle that can make it from Merced to Bakersfield or something, and they're going to get on the non-bullet train. Like, it's at least as impactful the train at Griffith Park, the miniature train that takes the little toddlers around in a circle is every bit as important as this train, which is not, but brings joy to people. Okay, I would make an argument for the Griffith Park miniature train before I would make an argument for the $7 billion extra to do this. And Bill is saying, who lives in Merced? Who lives in Bakersfield? Oh, no, wait. Who lives in Bakersfield and works in Merced? Like, I don't know what the scenario is, but name me 3 people that would use this train, and he's going to answer.
Let me challenge the premise, because I think in many respects this goes to,
of hand movement. That's how you know he's lying.
And I mean this with respect. The Central Valley in California is one of the fastest growing parts of the state. It's predominantly rural, yes. It's predominantly Republican, yes. But it's an incredibly important part of the state. And I think we, at our own peril, we talk down to people in the Central Valley. And I think a lot of people extend that as part of the problem with the Democratic brand.
No one knows.
We talk down to people, we talk past people. I think it's an incredibly important part of the state, not just because I represent the state. By the way, that part of the state, probably the largest share of my recall vote. So I'm not saying that in the context of a political frame, but I am saying in the context of trying to meet people where they are and respect people. All of us want to be protected. We want to be respected. We want to be connected. And I think they have a right.
Hold on, stop. When he turned into fucking Nipsey Russell. When
he went on that tour.
Don't be neglected.
Yeah.
Because he went on a tour to try to make a run for the 2024 election, and he got his lady dick kicked in, and now he's like, "Oh, I have to get out of my bubble and start trying to connect with the South, with the Midwest, and I have to say things like we have to care for people, even though this guy was more than ready to ban you from jobs because you didn't get the experimental shot."
But I was pumped that he was going to talk about the train, and then he didn't talk about the train at all.
But Bill, you got to circle back. I mean, listen, I interviewed the guy in this studio. It's all I did was stay on the same subject for 18 painful, glorious minutes.
The only other person besides myself, I would love to see you on this podcast.
Yes, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But the reason you can't let him just get up there. Okay, so here's the deal. It's like if a cop pulls you over and goes, "You been drinking tonight?" You can't just hold your keys out the window and jingle them and go, "Hey, look at that. What's over there?"
Yeah.
And the cop goes, "Those are your keys. Now, have you been drinking tonight?" And then you go, "Hey, let me see. I'll make a rabbit shadow on my dashboard. Let me use your flashlight." He goes, "No. I want to know if you've been drinking tonight." Right. And then you go, a lot of people, beer was originally made by the monks in 1420. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I want to know if you've been drinking tonight. Like, that's the only way you can interview these guys, because they can't. They jingle their keys over here. We're going to talk about going down and not neglecting and prospecting and intersecting. He doesn't say a fucking thing. There's a train that nobody wants. We are bankrupt. You want more money. This sounds like the worst idea ever. So, all right.
What ensures that if you get the $7 billion, it will actually be used on it? You already got $20 billion, dude.
No one will ever go on that train. You will never go on that train. It will be zero impact. But let's listen to the rest of his answer, just because it's funny.
So I'm not saying that in the context of a political frame, but I am saying it in the context of trying to meet people where they are and respect people. All of us want to be protected. We want to be respected. We want to be connected. And I think they have a right to have this kind of investment.
So full.
What do you mean protected? He's talking about a train that's a waste of money. Respected. They don't want to be neglected.
No, he was framing it so that he's the protector against Bill Maher of the Central Valley people, but he didn't answer shit about the train.
No, he's on a tour to he basically has to convince people he's normal, essentially, which is a weird...
He's not American Psycho.
Yes, the concept is a flawed concept, which is you go, well, what do people want? Well, they want less government waste, they want lower taxes, they want cheap energy, and they want a secure border. Okay. What do you want? Well, I want the opposite of all that stuff. Okay. So now I have to convince them that I've changed my mind on all the shit that I used to want.
Yep.
And that's what Kamala Harris had to do. It's like, well, I thought you wanted to pay for prisoners of transition in jail. No, I thought you wanted to get rid of ICE. No, I thought you wanted to get rid of fracking. Yeah, but I was at the tender age of 57 and a half back then.
No,
now,
you're totally right.
Now I'm an adult. Now, that was a full 2.5 years ago. Now I'm wise, age of 60. So then you have to go around and you have to convince everyone that you don't stand for all the shit you stood for 10 minutes ago. And my feeling, you got young girls.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're not a superstitious man. But what I'm saying, you got to make a decision, right? You go, me or Mayhem's got to babysit, right? And then I go, okay, all right. Now, listen, Mayhem, that's going to be a tough putt. But Mayhem's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
He's kept his nose clean.
Yeah.
He pays his taxes.
Yeah.
He's God-fearing. He's got a young boy. He's a family man. And he's a Christian. Okay. Now, I know I've said a lot of stuff about fucking 5-year-olds in the past.
Yeah.
But that was in the past.
Yeah,
that was like, I was like 56 when I talked about fucking 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's the old Adam.
Yeah.
The new Adam, I'm with Mayhem on this. I don't think anyone should be going anywhere near a 5-year-old sexually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of footage of me on the internet talking about fucking 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's the old Adam. So what I'm asking is, you can only have one of us watch your kid.
Yeah.
I think I'm the man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that was like 2002 when I was talking about fucking 5-year-olds.
Totally different
you know what I
time.
mean? It's a different time. And I know I talked something about stealing their toys and feeding them gummy bears and telling them not to brush their teeth before they went to bed. That's the old Adam. You understand? The new Adam, going to sit there. We're going to read the Bible. We go to bed early. We eat something nutritious, and everyone flosses before they go to bed. Now, sure, you could pick up your phone and see a lot of footage of me saying something the exact opposite of that. I'm at the Mambla retreat, talking to other man-boy love association guys and things of that nature. But that was 18 months ago.
Long time.
Okay, so if you can only hire one babysitter, I think this dude's the dude. Oh, hold on. And I care. Yeah, my thing's I care.
Yeah.
I care.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference. He doesn't. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I spent too much time on myself. He's God-fearing. He's Christian. He's a family man himself. He never got on a microphone and started talking about banging 5-year-olds. He never wanted to do that. But you know what? This guy may be racist. I think he's racist. Yeah, I think he's racist.
Your
He
kids
is.
aren't black, right?
You ever seen him wave? There's a picture of him waving.
I wish.
He's got his hand up. You know who else put his hand up? Hitler.
Yeah.
Go look it up. If you can find pictures of Mayhem waving. Well, it's not waving. He's dog whistle waving. He's wave whistling to his crowd. Okay, so this guy is either. This guy's rich, too, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a lot of money. He wants a big fat cat coming in here, lighting cigars with $100. But this guy's a billionaire.
Yeah.
You understand? He's a billionaire. He's racist.
Yeah.
He loves Putin. Yeah. This guy's Putin's.
Can't stop talking about.
He's a cat.
It's true.
It's his cat's paw, whatever that is. That's what he is. Mm-hmm. He does Putin's bidding. So anyway. I used to be a pedophile. Fine. But I'm not a racist. I don't love, I'm not Hitlerian. There's pictures of me doing the same salute on the line, but that's different. That's like within a different context, you know? So I talked about being a pedophile a lot, but I was only in my mid-50s, and now I'm in my later 50s.
I'm a different guy.
I'm a different guy. I'm not racist. I'm not a billionaire, and I'm not in with Putin. Okay? So you kind of need me to watch the kids, I'm assuming. Unless you want to hire the racist.
Yeah.
You know,
who am I? Which one am I going with?
Yeah, that's basically my.
If I'm me, when do you start Mayhem? If I'm a progressive 55-year-old, I'm going with Captain Good Looking over here.
I sold my Tesla, by the way.
Yeah,
you should know that.
This guy.
I didn't sell it, but
get the fuck out of here, man.
I put a sticker on it that said I bought the Tesla before I knew Elon was an asshole.
Yeah.
And so that kind of covers the Tesla.
Half your staff is gay, obviously.
I have a thing in my yard that says no humans illegal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even pedophiles, really, but that's not what I put it there.
I only hire trans now. That's all I do.
Yeah. That's what I do.
All the chicks here, big dicks. That's all that happens
This
here.
guy loves Hitler.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
Oh, he invents rockets and shit, too. Who else invented? The whole rocket program came out of Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Werner von Braun. Probably a buddy of yours. That's why you like rockets. You and Hitler love your rockets. He had a V1. You love yourself some rockets, don't you?
Yeah.
Hitler. I don't care about rockets.
I live in California and you just burned down my house. I'm hiring you.
Yeah. He wanted to do deforestation, but I was worried about the milk thistle.
Yeah.
So I said no.
The dune bug. You were worried about the tiny bugs.
I was worried about the delta smelt. That's why we don't have any water in the reservoir. And then we didn't clear the brush because I was worrying about milk thistle.
Yeah.
This guy wanted to fill the reservoirs
with water.
With racist water.
Dude, probably Aryan water.
I'd say it'd be the
Look at you, dude.
He's like, the tears of Jews is what he wanted to fill those reservoirs with.
Yeah, the tears of Jews. Dude, look at those tattoos. They're probably all Aryan Brotherhood tattoos, too.
All right, you just broke down the fourth wall because my mayhem in this fantasy doesn't have tattoos.
Exactly.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
All right, here's a nice bit of video. Memphis Repo Man